Hello again, and welcome to module number 12. I am Kiana Brathwaite, soon to be Kiana Jennings White, and this module is about community, volunteerism, and philanthropy. The way in which I define this is giving back, supporting in areas that matter to me, interest me, entering into community, creating space and community to support different aspects of myself and others as we live life and thrive. That was a lot, I know. And I have always been one of service. My career is one that services and supports people. Nursing is definitely a calling. Prior to going into nursing, I was interested in serving in the military. I was in JROTC in high school, and so, being in community, sharing in community, supporting community has always been very important to me from a very early age. And volunteering is something that I started doing because I was forced to do in high school, and so I kind of begrudgingly did it then. We needed to do community service hours in order to graduate. It was mandatory. But then as I became an adult and started to have experiences, I found myself wanting to support, give back, and just show up in different places and community and volunteer in ways that are very interesting to me, that support my interests, fills my heart and my soul, and also my cup to give back. And there are times in my life where I don't have the capacity, and you'll hear me talk about capacity a lot. I don't necessarily, or have not had the capacity. For instance, when I had my children, all I had was enough energy for myself barely after doing all of what I had to do for them when they were younger. And I believe I talked in the previous module about how these show up, and sometimes, you can do it for a while and then it falls off, and then you come back to it and you notice that, and it'll call to you when it wants to be picked back up. And that's what happened with being a community member and volunteering. The philanthropy piece came about probably while I was at the bedside, but I didn't necessarily always have the funds to donate, and it was something that one of my employers, I had a few employers, but one of my employers, it was kind of one of those ancillary benefit type of things, in the sense of they had a program where you could donate to organizations of interest. They had their own list where you could donate to, and then I started to delve into other opportunities for philanthropy and volunteerism. And it is a love that I have, that I look forward to being able to do more as far as the philanthropic aspect of myself, is to really start giving financial support to the interests, causes, organizations that fall within the realm of the places and things that call to my heart. And I was able to do it for a couple of years and really enjoyed it. I would go in and donate as a company, as my corporation, my organization. And then there were times where I would donate, as an individual, and I just love it. Like I said, it fills my heart. And so this is a section or an aspect that I have always wanted to do. I think it's one of my pillars. It's part of my value system. And I do get a little frustrated with myself, especially now when I don't have the space to volunteer. And I recently, because I talk about how I check in with myself, and one of the things is I'm not necessarily frustrated anymore because I found an organization. Well, actually, I did find an organization by happenstance, and then it was, I worked with the organization, and the opportunity to volunteer came up recently when I said, I'm ready to start mentoring and volunteering again. I have that space despite how chaotic and crazy my life is. This is something that I really want to do. It brings joy to me. And so that opportunity came up with that organization, and we're in the process of setting something up for me to be able to do that. So this would be a neutral just starting to focus on one of those aspects, whereas the other ones are either satisfied or frustrated. And it's funny, I created this form, which I'll share at the end of all this with you, and I did a check-in just to play around with the form. And when I did the check-in at first, I realized I'm like frustrated in probably 8 to 10 aspects of my life. And then after doing the form and playing around with it and setting something aside and working on the moving into volunteering and support my community again, I redid the form, and there was some level of neutrality in there, and even 1 or 2 moved into the satisfied space. So I invite you, as I share this form, to use it once you've had time to sit with yourself and define these and understand how you want to implement, to start to use the form, because it was a lot of fun for me to go through, and I didn't judge myself. I was like, oh, wow, I'm frustrated here. Yeah, I'm really frustrated here. Like, I could feel it bubbling up as I was sitting with it. And then, like I said, when I went back and redid it, I was like, okay. So I'll share with you in module 13 or 14 how I play around with this. But I just wanted to share that. Take some time with this. Community volunteerism, philanthropy may not be your cup of tea. It may be something else. It may be doing meetups, or doing something on LinkedIn, or, some other type of group that supports, what your practices are, or supports your self-care practices, or just as an outlet. Sometimes we just need an outlet, like a viable, supportive, safe outlet to come out of all of the other crap that we're dealing with in life and just be in this place and really tap into a part of ourselves that is just joyous, so that we can put that and bring that to other parts of ourselves and other aspects of our lives. So play with it, have fun, enjoy, see how it manifests in your day-to-day, support yourself with somehow, I don't want to say keeping track, but, writing it down or playing with it or whatever that looks like for you. Have fun with that. And I thank you for your time, and I look forward to our time in the next module together. And I really appreciate the fact that you are journeying with me through this. And I wish you a beautiful, bountiful amount of gifts that come out of moving through this process with yourself. So I will see you, hear you, and speak to you in the next module. Until then, take care.